At 16 years old, most teenagers are thinking about school, friends, and what their future might look like. Endrick was thinking about Real Madrid. Before he was legally allowed to drive a car, Europe's biggest club had already secured his signature. Before he had played a full professional season, he was being labeled the future of Brazilian football. And that's the dangerous part, because in Brazil, talent is common. But surviving the hype is rare. This is not just the story of a wonder kid. This is the story of pressure, expectation, and whether Endrick is built differently. Endrick didn't grow up in luxury. His family struggled financially. His father moved between jobs. There were moments when stability wasn't guaranteed. Football wasn't just a dream, it was a route out. But what separated Endrick from thousands of talented Brazilian kids wasn't just skill, it was obsession. From a young age, he trained with intensity beyond his years. Coaches noticed something unusual. He didn't just want to score, he wanted to dominate defenders physically. At Palmeiras' academy, he wasn't just another technical dribbler. He was explosive, aggressive, direct. While other forwards relied purely on flair, Endrick played like someone in a hurry. And that urgency caught attention quickly. Before most fans saw him play professionally, social media had already decided he was special. Clips of youth tournaments went viral, powerful left-footed finishes, sharp turns in tight spaces, celebrations full of confidence, but viral clips can lie. They show the goals, not the movement before them, not the decision-making, not the weaknesses. So what actually makes Endrick different? Let's slow it down. First, his movement inside the box. Endrick doesn't wait for the ball. He attacks space early. He often positions himself between center back and fullback, forcing defenders to make a decision. What stands out is his timing. He doesn't drift casually. He explodes into gaps just as the pass becomes possible. Second, his body orientation. Before receiving the ball, he already angles his body toward goal. That small detail allows him to shoot quickly, often with minimal touches. This suggests instinct, not hesitation. Third, his finishing technique. His left foot is powerful, but it's not just about power. He keeps shots low, controlled, direct, especially across goal. At youth level, that's devastating. But here's the key question. Does this translate against elite European defenders? Because space disappears faster. Decisions must be sharper. Endrick is physically strong for his age. Compact, low center of gravity, explosive over short distances. That profile actually suits La Liga more than people think. But he is not a traditional Brazilian number 9. He isn't Romario's elegance. He isn't Ronaldo Nazario's fluid glide. He's more aggressive, more vertical, almost impatient. And that impatience can be both a weapon and a weakness. Real Madrid didn't sign Endrick for nostalgia. They signed him early because modern football is about securing assets before their value explodes. But Madrid is not a development charity. It's a machine built to win immediately. So where does Endrick fit? He is not arriving to an empty squad. He's entering a dressing room filled with elite attackers. Minutes are not gifted, they are taken. If used centrally, he will need to improve his link-up play. Madrid's system demands combination football, not isolation. If used wider, he must develop off-ball discipline and defensive tracking. The opportunity is enormous. The pressure is suffocating. Because at Madrid, patience is limited. Brazil does not produce players quietly. Every talented teenager is compared to Pelé, to Ronaldo, to Neymar. And that comparison is dangerous. We've seen this story before. Wonder kids who exploded early, then disappeared. Some struggled with injuries, others with lifestyle, others with expectation. The difference at the highest level is rarely talent. It's mentality. Endrick speaks with confidence. He celebrates with intensity. He plays without visible fear. But confidence at 16 is different from resilience at 21. The real test begins when form drops, when criticism rises, when social media turns. That is when we discover whether this is hype or durability. Let's be realistic. Early physical development can level out. Defenders get stronger, faster, smarter. If Endrick relies too heavily on explosiveness, he may struggle when that advantage reduces. His decision-making under pressure must sharpen. Sometimes he shoots early when a pass is better. Sometimes he forces moments. At youth level, that works. At elite level, inefficiency is punished. There's also workload risk. Overexposure, marketing commitments, media attention. Young careers can burn fast. Talent alone is not protection. If Endrick improves his link-up play, he becomes unpredictable. If he refines his first touch under pressure, he becomes reliable. If he learns when not to shoot, he becomes intelligent. World-class forwards are not just explosive, they are selective. They know when to accelerate, and when to pause. If he adds patience to aggression, control to power, discipline to instinct, then we are looking at something serious, because the raw tools are there. Strength, timing, confidence, finishing instinct. Those cannot be taught easily. Endrick is not just fighting defenders. He's fighting history. He's fighting the impossible standards placed on Brazilian attackers. He's fighting the expectation of a club that measures success in Champions League trophies. The world has already decided he is special. Now he must prove he is sustainable. Because in football, hype is loud. But greatness is consistent. And the difference between the two is time. If you love football and you enjoy real analysis, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more great analyzed football. Thanks for watching. This is Ball Talk.